AP U.S. Government and Politics Topic 5.4, How and Why Political Parties Change and Adapt. Hello everyone, and welcome to AP Government and Politics Review, a video series where we break down complex government concepts into relatable, easy-to-understand discussions. Today we're diving into a fascinating topic, how and why political parties change and adapt over time. Whether you're curious about the evolution of political strategies or the technology driving modern campaigns, we've got you covered. Let's jump in. First, let's talk about one of the biggest changes in modern politics, candidate-centered campaigns. What does that even mean? Gone are the days when political parties were the main attraction in elections. Now, the focus has shifted into the candidates themselves. Their personal stories, charisma, and even their social media presence plays a major factor in elections. But why does this matter? Well, when voters prioritize a candidate's personality over the party's platform, the party loses some of its traditional influence. For example, candidates often fundraise independently or create personal campaign teams. This means the role of the party in nominating candidates, like during primaries, has weakened significantly. But why does this matter? Next up, let's look at how parties adapt their policies and messaging. Political parties are always trying to attract the broadest coalition of voters. To do this, they tailor their platforms to appeal to shifting demographics. Take the Republican and Democratic parties. For example, Republicans have focused heavily on rural voters and evangelical Christians in recent years. Meanwhile, Democrats have leaned into urban centers, young voters, and policies that resonate with minority communities. These adaptations help parties stay competitive in a rapidly changing electorate. Now let's dig into some major structural influences that have shaped political parties. One key factor is what we call critical elections. These are elections where we see the realignment or a big shift in which groups of people support which parties. For instance, think about the 1932 election. Franklin Delano Roosevelt New Deal coalition brought together working-class voters, minorities, and others under the Democratic Party banner. Then, fast forward to the 1980s. And with the 1980 election, Ronald Reagan's presidency shifted conservative Democrats and evangelical Christians to the Republican side. These realignments redefine what each party stands for. We even can see this with the 2024 election, but we're still waiting on some exit polls in the near future, so that'll be a different video coming up, so make sure to subscribe to catch on to that. Another influence is campaign finance laws. Changes like the Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act or major Supreme Court cases like Citizens United versus FEC have transformed how money flows into campaigns. This has given rise to super PACs and independent expenditures, which don't always rely on traditional party fundraising. Essentially, the money game has changed, and political parties have had to adapt. And of course, we can't ignore the role of technology in reshaping campaigns. Parties now use data and digital tools to manage communications and voter outreach. Let me give you an example from the 2012 presidential election. Barack Obama's campaign developed something called Project Norwal, a centralized database that integrated all of their voted data. This allowed them to target specific voters with tailored messages and get them to the polls. On the other hand, Mitt Romney's campaign used a system called Orca, designed to track voter turnout in real time. Unfortunately, Orca ran into major technological difficulties, which hindered its effectiveness. The takeaway here is clear. Technology has become a critical tool for campaigns to connect with voters, clarify their messages, and mobilize support. Parties then can master these tools and can gain a huge advantage over their opponents. So, what does this all mean for political parties? Well, in short, parties have had to evolve to stay relevant, whether it's shifting their messaging to appeal to new voter groups, adjusting to campaign finance laws, or embracing the latest technology. Adaptation is key. By understanding these dynamics, we can better appreciate how political principles, institutions, and behaviors are shaped by the evolving role of political parties. But that's all for today's episode of AP Government and Politics Review. If you found this discussion helpful, make sure to subscribe and share it with someone who loves learning about how politics works. Next time, we'll dive into another big question. How does voter turnout really impact elections? Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.